Hello guys, how are you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to some of you that are just about to get in bed. I don't know where you're watching in from, but thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for those of you who are dropping by just for today. Forever grateful to the returning subscribers, the current subscribers. Thank you so much for the support. As and when you subscribe, I'm encouraged to make more videos and also to for you to be able to get videos as and when they drop in. So guys, for those of you who have not yet subscribed, remember subscription is free. You can subscribe and you'll be able to receive videos on time, and we always premiere at 11 o'clock Monday to Friday. So for those of you who are tuning in for the first time and you would want to watch the premiere, please tune in at 11 o'clock East African time. You'll be able to join us live, drop in a comment, chat, and we can push the channel forward. Today I'm just going to be making a meat stew, one like I've never done before. So if you watched the previous ones in the archives and liked the video, you'll be able to like this one as well. I always want to flip up on my menus so that my family members do not get used to only one way of cooking. So join me and see the ingredients that I'm going to use to make this beef stew. Now, to help me make this beef stew is carrots, some eggplants, the red eggplants, or what we call aubergine for my friends in America, and green bell peppers. I'm also going to be using cornmeal, some purple onions, 2 tomatoes, about 6 cloves of garlic, blended tomatoes, some beef already cut up. As you can see, I deboned my meat, which will make it easy and quick to cook. I've also put some okra powder, chicken fry mix that I normally like to put in that kick, to give the kick to my sauces. Then I have rosemary powder, I have garlic powder, black pepper, I've got also some curry powder, garam masala, salt, and I'll use a little bit of paprika as well. I'll use also superior dark soy sauce. This will help me get my meat to that desired color. So let's get started cooking. Now, what I'll do first, if you don't have your meat chopped up, chop it up. Mine is already chopped, so I'll go straight away to the pan and start frying. I'm going to put oil, just enough, because I have other ingredients to cook with my meat. I've put about maybe 4 tablespoons of oil. And then I'll straight away add the meat. When the oil is not yet ready, I'll add the meat and then add some salt. Now, normally the salt you put in at this point would be the one to speed up the cooking action of your meat. So when you add it now, it will tenderize the meat and act as a catalyst so that you don't take long cooking. So what I'm doing now is just trying to mix up my meat with the salt and the oil, and then I'm going to cover and let it cook on its own until it drains of itself of all the water and makes that sizzling noise that will let me know that it's halfway there in terms of cooking. So what I'm doing is trying to mix, and then I'm going to cover. To check up and see if it has it's draining water. Now, do you see how much water has come out of the meat? Guys, I've not added any water, so I'll mix and let it sit and cook slowly until all this water is drained. Once it is drained, you almost be halfway there. If you want to get really soft meat, you'll be able to get it soft if you cover and let it dry on its own, minus any more opening. So I'm going to cover and let it sit on and do its thing until all the water is drawn out. I'm still checking, but as you can see, there's still water in here. So I'm going to mix. This is after about 5 minutes, but it's almost dry. Now I'm able to see the oil. You remember the oil had disappeared and there was more of water. Now we are starting to see the meat. Now I want my meat brown, yet soft. So I'll let it cook still some more. But I'm not going to cover now. I'm just going to be mixing until all the water is up. And then I'll add in some soy sauce at some point. The soy sauce will help also add to the color. Trust me, at this point, my meat is almost there. Believe you me, because my heat is not high, my heat is low, medium-low heat. So now I'm going to add some soy sauce. I didn't want to add soy sauce before that because I wanted to give it some time to brown. Now I'm going to add a bit of soy sauce at a later stage so that it can turn more brown than this. Now what I'm doing is, as the meat is drying, I'm chopping up my tomatoes to big chunks. Because remember, I've also got blended tomatoes, so it doesn't matter the size of my tomatoes as long as I have these ones big chunked. Now I've covered my meat to brown it more, and once it is browned, then I'll add in some soy sauce. I don't want it to be brown because I've added soy sauce. I want it to be brown because I gave it time to cook. So I'm going to be checking on the meat as I'm also chopping up on these other ingredients. Now, once I'm done with the onions, I'm going to also chop up my aubergine, or what we call eggplants, and introduce it to the meat so that it can also be tenderized. Now, because my chunks of meat are big, I'll go this size on the eggplants. Guys, continue taking more of these eggplants. They are very nutritious. And they make your pot colorful, so go ahead and use them in your cookings. It's been a hassle for me trying to introduce them to the kids, but we are getting there. When you cook them in really nice meals, they enjoy them. Now, time for me to go check on the meat, see how it's doing. Then I'll introduce the eggplants and come back and chop up the carrots as well. Now my meat is brown, as you can see, but this is all before I introduced the eggplants. The soy sauce, sorry. So I'm going to be putting in the soy sauce shortly, but I'll I'll first add the eggplants and then add the soy sauce later. These will not only make your stew thick, but they will also make it more interesting. So time to go back to the choppings and then we can bring them to this. So because we are doing low heat, I'm going to now introduce the soy sauce to add to the brown egg. I wanted the meat to first get the brown on its own, so that when I add in the soy sauce, it's not purely because of soy sauce that it is browned, but because I gave it time to cook. And when you're using soy sauce, it's the superior dark. Guys, it should be like 1 teaspoon full of soy sauce, not more, unless you really want your sauce dark. I don't, so I'm just going to use 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. And it's time for me to also introduce the carrots so that they can become tender. But I'll give these guys a go with the meat first, and then the carrots will come in. Now that the aubergines or eggplants have had their chance with the meat, I'm going to be adding the carrots now. The reason I'm putting the carrots ahead of time is because I want them to soften and blend in the pan very well. I'm also going to be adding the onions and garlic. But I'll give these about 2 minutes. Then I'll put on the garlic. Now time to see how the carrots are doing. 2 minutes are up. I'm just going to add the garlic powder, the garlic chopped up and the onions. Trust me, by this time, this meat is almost there. Because remember, we gave it the time of just cooking and draining of itself. And now it's getting to know all these other spices, the other ingredients, and the aromas, guys. Now, I don't want my onions to become brown. The soy sauce should do its coloring, and then for them they stay. Right now, all that I want from them is the aroma. The moment I can get it, introduce it to the meat, that's what I'm looking for. Then I'll add my tomatoes, blended and chopped up. So I do the mixing for about 2 minutes, and then I introduce the tomatoes. These are the chopped up ones, there were 2. My meat is about 1 kilo. So depending on how much meat you're working with, you go ahead and either double or reduce on your ingredients. Right now I'm also going to add some sugar. Like I said, guys, this is just to help reduce on the acidity from the tomatoes. Because once you have the chopped up ones and the blended ones, the acid levels tend to go up. So you put a bit of sugar. Time to check, see if our tomatoes are now softened before we add more ingredients. The reason I like using blended tomatoes together with the chopped up ones, the blended ones will improve on my consistency. I don't have to use a lot of things for my sauce or my stew to look thick enough or brothy enough. The blended tomatoes will add to the consistency, and the chopped up ones will add to the color. I normally go chopped up light, thick, so that I can be able to have some bit of red, especially if I'm not going to use red bell peppers or yellow bell peppers. As you can see, the carrots, tomatoes have reduced the soy sauce to what you're looking at now. And now it's time for me to add the curry, garam masala, garlic powder. I'm also going to use a bit of ginger in here, ginger powder. As well as rosemary, okra, and the chili spice for the kick that I said I normally enjoy in my stews, so that my pot is exciting. Every serving should give me some serious kick that gets me excited at the end of the day. So I've put in there a teaspoon of everything, especially ginger. Black pepper is just a half a teaspoon. Garam masala is half a teaspoon. Rosemary half a teaspoon. Garlic a teaspoon. And this has led us to what you're looking at, guys. Now time for me to add some bit of water to help improve the consistency and give me the stew. Now I'm adding some water. The water I'm going to add is the one that will help cook my stew. Now this should sit on slow heat for about 20 minutes. Guys, when I serve, I need to be able to see and smell all these aromas. See how my sauce looks? Once you plate this with any kind of food, it can go with green bananas. For those of you who have green bananas, or what we call matoke in Uganda, it is very good with ugali, mashed potatoes. It is very good with rice, sweet potatoes, cassava. For those of you who like to eat spaghetti, Irish potatoes, as you call them, anything that you really want to serve your family or enjoy, this sauce can go very well with it. Now, I was just testing the salt, and it looks like I'll need some more salt in there. So you go ahead and add according to your preference. If you want your sauce salty, you go ahead and add. Now I'm also going to add some bit of water still. The reason why I need water is because my beef is going to cook on low heat for about 20 minutes. So that means that water will reduce. And once it reduces, and my meat starts peeping through, it shows my meat is ready. So most of that water is going to be lost in the evaporation. So I'll cover for now and then check on it after about 20 minutes. Now time for me to add oatmeal. This will add to the last minute aromas of the meat. And then the bell peppers. I'll let this sit for about 2 minutes. Then I'll be able to serve and show you how I'll plate my finished meat. As you can see, my meat is ready. I'm still able to see the bell peppers, the oatmeal, and the aromas, guys. Time for me to plate and show you how my meat would look. Time for me to serve and plate. Guys, the aromas are going ahead of me. Everyone already is wondering, when are we eating? Only I know that we have to wait until everything else that I have in stock for the stew has gone in. Now I'm going to be cleaning my plate to see that it's clean and presentable, so that I don't present something that doesn't look good. So that is how my meat would look. I'm just going to add a bit of sauce in there. Just to seal the deal. Now you can go ahead and serve this with anything, like I said. Everyone would be finger licking because the meat is tender and it's spicy. Trust me, you will love it. For those of you who are watching and tuning in for the very first time, just a reminder, guys, please subscribe, comment, and share the link. Then you'll be able to get videos as and when they drop in. Until next time, thank you for watching. Thank you for telling friends. Bye bye. Enjoy making the meals and God bless.